I learned one of the most valuable lessons for my business, for my career, and for my life over a $5 cup of coffee with a potential client. And we order our coffee, and after we sit down, they made this comment about the price of the coffee that literally changed everything for me, but I didn't really know it at the time. This was the tip of the iceberg. So we sit down and they just start complaining about how expensive coffee is. And then they're complaining about how expensive gas is and grocery is. And of course the coffee and the brand new pair of like luxury shoes they just bought. Like everything was an issue. Everything was way too expensive. And something hit me, not in this moment, but I started recognizing this pattern. And that's what I'm talking about today on this episode, is that the way someone reacts to a $5 cup of coffee is the same way they're going to react to a $25,000 commission. So how they react to the $5 cup of coffee exactly is going to predict how they're going to react to your $25,000 commission. And I call this the $5 rule. So if they complain about a $5 cup of coffee, they're going to complain about your commission. If they complain about the barista, they're going to nickel and dime you and complain about the service that you're giving them as well. Because someone's money mindset shows up consistently across all price points. Someone who values service and quality values service and quality overall for like everything that they're buying, whether it's coffee or sneakers or dinner or an oil change. It's like someone who is focused on quality and service and convenience and experience always values these things. And on the flip side, someone who only values price will always shop purely on price. So in the example that I gave in the beginning where I'm having coffee with this person, like what they did and how they acted revealed everything to me. So they spent the whole time complaining about everything. And the red flags were there, like they were there. And I picked up on them, but I stuffed them down and I ignored them because I needed business, right? And guess what happened when like we started working together and it was time to talk about commission? Like I'm listing their house for them and now we're negotiating commission. All of the same comments and behaviors that they were making about like the coffee, that they made about the groceries, that they made about the sneakers that they bought, they all came up about their commission. And so it's like, it doesn't matter what the price point is. People who complain about a $5 coffee are going to complain about your $25,000 commission. And so once I started really paying attention to this, like this was the first instance where I was like, okay, these two things went together. I started seeing this pattern everywhere. And it's everything in life. The clients who tip well are the ones who value my time and who respect what I do. The ones who argue with the servers over everything are the ones who argued with me. So this isn't about having money. This is about respecting something's value and its quality and the experience that you're getting with it. So here are some other $5 rule indicators to kind of keep an eye out for when you are meeting someone in a social setting and you're trying to feel each other out and you're not really sure if you are compatible as like client-agent relationship. And sometimes this is really hard to tell because you don't know exactly how someone is going to operate until you're working with them. It's like, I feel like you don't really truly know who someone is until you work with them, whether you're working with them in like a corporate setting, you're an employee, they're employees together, they're your boss, they're your direct report, or when you're working with someone in a situation like this. It's like you really can learn a lot about someone when you are working together. So you're still not going to know the whole truth until you get into the nitty-gritty about working with this person. But here are some early indicators that you can kind of keep an eye out for that should let you know, like, okay, this person's going to nickel and dime me, or this person appreciates quality and they appreciate experience and they appreciate value, and those are the priorities for them. So here are a couple examples. How they treat the wait staff, how they treat servers and baristas and receptionists is how they're going to treat you, right? So whether they honor like small commitments of like being on time, returning calls, what they do in those instances is how they're going to act when you guys are working together. And how they talk about their other service providers, like when you're having casual conversation and they're talking about their landscaper or their house cleaner or contractors or people that they've worked with, someone who is like doing work for them, that is exactly how they're going to talk about you. You are a service provider, you know? So if they're talking about like their dentist or their trainer or whoever it is that helps them in life, you're going to be one of those people. So how do they talk about that person? Are they appreciative? Do they value them? Do they listen to them? Or is it always like, yeah, they said this, but I know better. I'm going to do this other thing over here. Or yeah, they said this, but I don't really think that makes sense. So I'm just going to not do that. And I don't think I'm going to hire them anymore. I'm going to go with this other person who's basically telling me what I want to hear. It's like, you're also a service provider. So tune into how they're talking about other people that like do work with them. That's how they're going to talk about you. And listen to their reaction for like standard fees, like inspection fees, appraisal fees, all those things. If they are balking about those things, there is going to be an issue when the commission comes up, even if it's already been outlined, even if you already have a contract set aside. It's like if they're already complaining about standard fees and things that just happen and are a necessary part of the deal, there's probably going to be some conversation coming up about your commission. So here is the mindset behind that. Dream clients, they understand that quality costs money. Not only do they understand it, they are happy to pay for it. They want the highest quality. They want the best of the best. They want the top tier, and they understand that that is going to be more expensive than the bottom tier, but that's what they want, and they're happy to pay for it. They would rather pay a higher cost for something and get a higher quality or better service than be focused on budget and get something that they don't really want, something that they didn't want in the first place. They respect professionals and they understand the value of like your knowledge and your expertise and the experience that you're giving them and what you're doing for them that's kind of intangible, like taking the stress off their plate, having someone to like vent to and bounce ideas off of and just make sure that they're on the right track. They appreciate that. They want someone on their side. Versus the red flags for nightmare clients is they always brag about getting discounts everywhere. Like they want to find whatever it is at the cheapest possible price. They complain about all the other professionals in their life overcharging them. Their attorney, their personal trainer, their house cleaners, their landscapers, everyone is like way overcharging them, right? They want champagne service on a beer budget. So they might want the best, but they don't want to pay for the best. That is a different mindset and scenario than your dream clients who want the best and they're willing to pay for the best, And finally, like this is a telltale sign that I've noticed, like this is a solid trend. They act like everyone is trying to rip them off. Like your red flag clients, your nightmare clients, they always act like people are out to get them or someone's trying to scam them or someone's trying to rip them off. And sometimes it's you. Sometimes they act like you're the person who's trying to scam them and ripping them off. So it's like, pay attention to these red flags or these green flags when you're having casual conversations with someone to really get an idea of like, okay, how is this transaction going to go? How are they going to treat me when I'm trying to help them? Do they respect the knowledge and the experience and the expertise that I have? And are they happy to pay for it? Do they want that? Or do they think I'm trying to scam them? Are they trying to get away with something being as cheap as possible? Do they really not care about quality and they just want like the low budget, bottom of the barrel agent? It's like, that's fine. That's fine. That's just not you. So here's an example on the other side. A few years ago, I had dinner with friends who wanted to talk to me about buying their first home. And normally, like, I don't go to dinner with folks unless we're, I don't go to dinner with folks because like my night times are reserved for showings or for my personal time. But like, I love these people. They're really sweet. I've known them for a long time. So I'm like, sure, let's go to dinner. Let's talk about buying a home. It's going to be great. And I was planning on picking up dinner as a business expense, as like a kind gesture, But I get there and the first red flag is they're there before me. I'm always early. They're even there before me. They already have their table. They were super kind and generous to the server. They thanked them for everything. They thanked me a million times for meeting them and for taking time out of my day to like talk to them about this and explain things and everything like that. And we just had a blast. Like we had a great time. And we ended up working together. I helped them buy their first home, and working with them was an absolute dream. Like it was so much fun. They trusted my guidance. They respected what I was telling them. They respected the process, and we're still friends today, which is really important. And that's saying something because sometimes it can be tricky to work with friends and I'll get all the way to the closing and still be friends after that. Like that's a whole different episode. That's a whole nother topic about like working with friends and helping them with real estate. When you're friends with someone to begin with and then you help them buy and sell a home and you're still friends afterwards, that's a winner. That's when you know that you both vibe together and you're doing something right. So those are some of the green flags. Is like someone's really, number one, shows up early when they're meeting with you, is super kind to the server, is very appreciative and gracious of your time, insists on paying for the meal, doesn't complain about the cost of everything. It's like those are people that understand the value and of quality and the experience and the intangibles that you're helping them with on this journey and on this transaction. So here are some early warning signs, and here's kind of how to use the $5 rule to kind of figure out if someone's going to be a good fit for you to work with them. Now I pay attention to all these small interactions like in our very first meeting. And this isn't about judging people. This is about recognizing whether or not you're going to be compatible to work together. Because newsflash, you are just not going to be compatible with everyone. And your clients are not going to be compatible with everyone. So let's find like an agent-client relationship that's actually the right fit, where we enjoy working with them, they enjoy working with us. Because when that happens and they have a great experience, number one, it's awesome for everyone. It's great for them. It's great for you. Also, they're going to go and tell all of their other cool friends about you and how awesome it was working with you. Versus if you get a client that you're incompatible with, and yes, you do make it to the closing table, they are not going to be happy with that experience. And it's going to be miserable for both of you. And then not only are they not going to refer you to other people, they're going to talk bad about you to other people, So we really want to make sure that we're spending our time and our energy with people who appreciate us, people who we're compatible with, people who we enjoy spending time together. We're going to get them better results. It's going to be a better situation, a better experience for them. And they're going to refer us to their friends who we would also enjoy working with, right? Some agents can work well with price sensitive clients. I am not one of them. I don't think that you're one of them either. If that's your jam, awesome. If you have figured out a system and a way to work with people who just want the lowest price possible and bottom of the barrel service, more power to you. I haven't figured that out, and that's not my preference. That's not who I'm compatible with. So here's what I look for in our first interaction. Do they arrive on time for our meeting or for our call or for whatever it is we're doing? If we're having lunch, are they on time? Are they early? I'm always early. And so if someone's there before me, I'm just oh, wow, okay, that's serious, How do they treat the staff? Wherever you're at, how do they treat the staff? Whether you're at a coffee shop or you're at a restaurant or you're at a dog park or something, are they kind to people or do they just treat them like they're complete dirt? Because those aren't people that I really want to work with. What is their attitude for paying for quality? And I'm talking about quality for anything. Are they willing to pay more for top shelf products, top shelf service? Or do they want to pay the least amount possible and then complain about the poor quality of the thing that they just got? It's I'm sorry, but if you only want to pay $10 for shoes, those are not going to be the best shoes. Those shoes are probably going to fall apart in a week, And that is just what happens. That's the natural consequence of paying $10 for shoes. Do they ask thoughtful questions or are they just price shopping? Are they really curious about the services you provide? Or do they want to know what is the cheapest way that I can get you to help me? What does that look like? How do I pay you the least amount possible? So if someone is giving you a bad vibe over a $5 coffee, trust that feeling, trust your gut and trust your intuition. It's correct. It's correct. It's not going to get any better when there's a $25,000 commission or a $15,000 or a $12,000 commission. How they act about a $5 coffee is exactly how they're going to act with something that costs a million times that much. It's not going to get any better once there's more money involved. It's going to get worse when there's more money involved. And lastly, you are not obligated to work with everyone who contacts you. You don't have to. This is your business. That's the beauty of owning your business. You get to decide. You get to decide who you want to work with, how you want to work with them, what your whole setup is. So since I started implementing the $5 rule, my stress levels dropped dramatically, because I stopped attracting clients and I stopped working with clients who made me miserable, and I don't work with clients who fail the $5 test anymore. Even if we're friends, and especially if we're friends. If I have a friend who I know every time we go out, they're not very nice to the staff or the barista, or they're always complaining about price, I already know that's not my ideal client, which is fine. We can still be friends, but we don't have to work together. So sometimes working with friends can be a little bit more charged than working with a referral or someone who you didn't even know before. So think about preserving the friendship versus doing the transaction. And if you already know that someone has a bunch of red flags and they wouldn't be your ideal client, you don't have to work with them. I'm sure there are other agents that you could refer them to that would be a better fit and be a little bit more compatible. And you can still be friends with them afterwards, which is the most important thing. So here is the boundary paradox that seems like it wouldn't be true, but it actually is. The more selective you become as an agent, as a business owner, the more attractive you become. So when you're willing to walk away from bad clients, you attract the good ones. You're clearing the way for like the space and the time and the energy for the good clients. Like imagine working with bad clients and nightmare clients all day and you're so frazzled and stressed out and just like angry. And then like a dream client calls you or texts you and you're just in that state where you're like, what do you want? I can't talk to one more person today. Like imagine that interaction. Imagine that conversation versus if you didn't even work with that nightmare client and the dream client called you and you just are at ease and you're not stressed and you're having a great day. Like think about how that interaction is going to go and how much more time and space and energy you have for that dream client. So it's like the more time that you spend with your nightmare clients, you are literally sucking the life force out of yourself that you could be spending with your dream clients. So we're not going to go down that path. We're not going to work with them. We recognize the red flags. We're not going to work with those nightmare clients anymore. And quality clients, they want to work with agents who have standards. They don't want to work with doormats. And when you have standards, you communicate that you are worth those standards, that you're worth better treatment. And clients respect agents who respect themselves. And you cannot attract premium clients when you have a discount mindset. So like if you're groveling and you're begging someone for business, they are not going to respect you. They're not going to work with you. They don't feel like they can count on you. They don't feel like you can lead them. They don't feel like you can actually take charge of the situation and help them get what they want. Instead, they feel like they're doing you a favor by letting you help them. And no one is going to enjoy that dynamic. They're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to enjoy it. It's going to be miserable all around. So you have to have this like premium mindset in order to attract premium clients and give them the premium experience that they expect and that they need. So here's what we're going to do right now. Take a look at your current clients. Do they pass the $5 rule? If not, it might be time to adjust who you're attracting and how you're attracting them. So click the link below. I have this awesome bundle called the No More Cold Calls bundle, and it shows you exactly how to build your business with clients who actually like you and respect you and appreciate what you're doing for them. So you can stop wasting your time with the nightmare clients who don't pass the $5 rule and start getting clients who appreciate your value, what you have to offer them, who know that you can lead the way for them, and start, referring you to all of their awesome, cool friends. Because you deserve to work with clients who value what you bring to the table. So start paying attention to small things, start checking out the $5 rule and figuring out, does someone pass this or not? And next week, make sure you tune in. And the video, my episode next week is why I don't answer my phone anymore and how it completely changed my business. It sounds insane and counterintuitive and the opposite of everything that we learn as agents, but I promise you're going to love it. So make sure you tune in and I'll talk to you then.